I just want to talk about my story. How I went from a 549 credit score to an 838. I told this story before, but I want to tell it again because I want everyone to know the details. I really didn't go into details with it, but I'll go into details with it now. So, to start off, originally I had a 569 credit score. So I had a 569 credit score starting off. And what happened is I was in need of a car. I just had started a new job, and my job required me to drive around a lot. So I currently had a car. However, that car was not a good car. Like, that car was not in good condition. So, I needed a new car, of course. So I went and I got a new car. No, I tried to get a new car. And I went to the first dealership, and of course they played with my time. They sat in the finance office and they just joked around in the finance office. Maybe they really didn't take me serious because I really didn't have a good credit score. Although the guy did tell me some information. He was like, well, your score is a 569, and that's right in the middle of what we're normally used to. We're normally used to between 530 and a 580. So I think we could do something for you. Granted, they weren't able to do something for me. So then we went from there. I went to another car dealership, got rejected there. I went to like 3 to 4 different car dealerships, and I was rejected at all of them. I was not able to get a car, which was kind of discouraging. Actually, not kind of, it was discouraging. So I wasn't able to get the car from the other dealerships. I ended up getting inquiries. Of course, those hard inquiries, they added up. The hard inquiries add up. Anyone who knows anything about credit and knows anything about inquiries know they add up. So I ended up getting 13 hard inquiries with Equifax and 26, get this, 26 with TransUnion. 26 total with TransUnion. So I ended up getting a lot of inquiries. As a result of the inquiries from going to the dealerships and getting rejected, my 569 credit score turned into a 549 credit score. So I had to start all over basically, and had to start with a 549. So I had the 549 credit score, and my coworker told me, he was like, man, you're getting rejected. You should go where I went, because my dealership, they're offering, they got me a car, so they're just giving cars away like it's nothing. So you may be able to get one. So I was like, okay. He gave me the contact info for his dealership. So, I hit up his salesman, and his salesman, he was like, yeah, I could do something for you. I definitely could do something for you. So I'm all excited. I get ready and I get prepared. So I get prepared to go and see his salesman. So ironically, we were able to work something out. So I left that day that I went to see his salesman. I left with a car, actually. So I have my new car. And you know how it is when you get a new car. You're excited, you want to go and do things for the car. Of course, you're going to go and get your car fresheners and all that other stuff. Although I already had a car just waiting. But when you get a new car, you're just going to have... The other car that I had waiting was horrible. It was in like 200 and something thousand miles, like the upper tubes. Because that car ended up getting too close. I believe after I got the motor fixed, because I had to get the motor fixed, but I'll tell that later on down the line. But that car ended up getting like over 300,000 miles on it. So anyways, after that, I got approved. And I was shocked I got approved, honestly, because of how low my score was and how much bad, hard times I had trying to get one prior to that. So I got approved and I was able to get a car. So, weeks and weeks go by. Then finally, the finance manager, he just called me out of nowhere because, where I live, you don't get your dealer tags for a while, for a couple of weeks. Then you finally get your dealer tag. So I hadn't had my dealer tag yet. I hadn't received it. I just had the temporary tag. So, excuse the noise. So anyways, like 3 weeks into me having my new car, the dealer man, the finance guy called me, and he was like, yeah, you know, I was talking to the bank, and it's a possibility that you might have to return the car if they don't approve of it. And I'm like, what do you mean if they don't approve of it? I thought they approved. But no, he was saying if they don't approve of the loan, which they're having a hard time doing, you may have to return your car. So I didn't really take it serious. I'm like, nah, there's no way this happens. You know, I had this car 3 weeks already. There's no way that would happen. So, you know, I figured I'm not gonna have to worry. You know, I'll be good. But come to find out, 3 weeks into the process, a couple of days after that, he calls me and tells me, yeah, you have to return the car because the bank, they didn't approve of the loan, so you have to return your car. And you know, I thought he was joking at first, but after verifying things, he was honest and he was serious. And that was a very unfortunate situation. Very unfortunate. So I had to return the car, of course. You should know I was very discouraged, very let down. And after that, you know, I was just in a hard place. And after returning the car, I had to get the old car that I had, which I call a clunker. I had to get that car fixed. So I ended up getting that car fixed, and that became my car. I had to get a whole new motor put in that car. So I got a whole new motor on that car. So then after that, I determined right then and there, after going through all that, which took place over a span of 2 months, I determined that I no longer was gonna be jerked around like that because of my credit score or personal finances or anything. I really it lit a fire in me. I always say this, I said this in my book. It definitely lit a fire in me, and ever since that moment, I've been on a credit journey. The first thing that I did is I went and I applied for a secure credit card with Discover. I had did some research on secure credit cards, and I learned that secure credit cards was one of the best ways to actually kickstart building up your credit. So I went and I applied for the secure credit card with Discover, which, by the way, I think that the Discover secure credit card is the best secure credit card. And the reason why I think it is the best is because that once that card graduates, it's viewed as a regular credit card, and before it graduates, it's actually viewed as a regular credit card, unlike other credit cards. And you know, one thing about Discover, if you know anything about them, when you do those credit limit increases through their website and through their app, they don't do hard inquiries for that. So that's a pretty good deal right there. But anyways, the first one that I had was Discover. I actually only put $200 down as my deposit, so of course $200 was my credit limit. So I had a $200 credit limit, and of course, you know that means don't spend more than $20. I mean, we do 10% over here as far as utilization. We don't do 30. So it meant don't spend more than $20 a month, which I was cool with. You know, I was more focused on building up my credit. I really didn't care as far as using the card to, you know, spend a lot of money. But anyways, the second card that I got was with my bank, and they offered me a cool deal. They said if I spend $300, they'll give me a $500 credit limit. So that was even better. So of course I spent the $300, ended up with the $500 credit limit. So I'm like, I felt good. And right after that, getting rejected for that car and having to return it, I ended up with 2 secure credit cards, and that's what kickstarted my journey. I had the 2 secure credit cards for a couple of years. I used them for a couple of years until, you know, my score was good enough. I think my score went up to a 683, I believe, because my score was a 660 for 9 straight months during that 2-year period. 9 straight months, it was at a 660, which was ridiculous. You know, just imagine you're trying to build up your credit score and it gets stuck at 660. But anyway, so I built it up to a 683, and I decided to go and get a car again because, of course, the car that I had was pretty old. Even though I put a new motor in it, it was still pretty old. So I decided to go and get a car. And I was at a 683. Now, of course, after I got the new car, because it was a new account and a new loan, you know, of course, my score went down. It went down like 20, 30 points. No, it went down 20 something points, I believe. So it went back down, but that was only for a couple of months, because after those couple of months, my score went up. And when I say my score shot up, it shot up. It went to the 700s. And then after that, I had a couple of accounts and collections that I needed to dispute. I waited to dispute my collections, actually. I didn't dispute them initially, and I'm happy I didn't, because I had to learn the whole concept of credit and the process of how credit scoring works prior to that. So, you know, me dispute my collections was like the icing on the cake. That was the last thing I had to do. And once I did that, my score did not stay in the 700s for long. It instantly kept shooting up till it got in the 800s. And for the past couple of years, it just bounced from that 800 to 838, anywhere in between, because of course you get new credit cards, you get new loans and new accounts and things of that nature. So after that, it was pretty good. And you know, I'm happy to know that I had, you know, worked my way from poor credit to excellent credit. That was big time. And if I could do it, you could do it. There was nothing special about me that helped me get to that 838 credit score and in the 800s. Nothing special about me. I'm not wealthy. I'm not some super genius when it comes to, you know, the world and things of that nature. I just learned credit, and I learned credit, and I studied credit, and I can share that same information with you. I am sharing that same information with you in my class and in my book, Strategies to Master Credit. If I did it, I know people are used to hearing this when it comes to trying to motivate people, but listen, if I did it, you can do it as well. This is not something that can't be accomplished. I'm telling you, the average person can accomplish this. The average person definitely can accomplish this.